we're moving to China for the Chinese Grand Prix, which is also known as International Circuit Jianding Shanghai Grand Prix. The track was designed by Herman Tilke and was opened in 2004, and that was at a cost of about 240 million US dollars in 2004, and that made it the most expensive Formula One circuit facility then, until the Abu Dhabi course opened in 2009, and that one cost about 6 billion, 6 whooping billion. So, the first race was held in 2004 until 2019. It was contracted until 2025, but for the past 4 years, there was no race held in China. From 2020, 21, 22, 23, there were no races in China because of the COVID-19 pandemic in China. If you can all remember, the pandemic originated and the cycle started in China, as we all know, and up until now, 2024, since 2019, they're hosting a race. Now, the track is a 5.451 kilometers. That's a 3.387 mile track on the trickiest corner combination of the F1 calendar. Turn 1 and turn 2, a demanding 270 degrees right-handed corner combination whose radius decreases as the corner progresses. That turn 1, turn 2 corner is massive. That is a tire chopper, 100%. Races has been held in Shanghai 16 times, 2014. Most wins by a driver, Lewis Hamilton, 6 times. Most wins by a constructor, Mercedes, 6 times. It's a 56-lap race. In 2019, the pole position was Valtteri Bottas. Lewis Hamilton winning the race. Valtteri Bottas coming second and Sebastian Vettel third, with Max Verstappen coming fourth. Pierre Gasly gunning for the fastest lap. While in 2018, the Ferraris took the pole position and the front row. That's Kimi Raikkonen to Sebastian Vettel. Coming to the Mercedes. In 2018, Daniel Ricciardo won the race ahead of the Ferraris that took pole position. That was one of the best races in which Daniel Ricciardo had completed in his career. Let me give you a brief history of the Shanghai Grand Prix. In the early 1990s, the Chinese government began to seek a host of F1 race after the Zhuhai International Circuit was opened in 1996 in the city of Zhuhai in Guangdong Province, southern China. China is a very big and humongous country. A race that there was provincially added to the 1999 F1 World Championship calendar, but the track failed to meet the FIA standard and the race was cancelled. That was the Zhuhai International Circuit, because it failed to meet the FIA standard. I've made some videos about the FIA standard track. You can go and watch the videos. There will be some other videos dropping. This season is dropping fast and coming, so you will learn from that later. You can watch some videos on it and you see some other videos coming later. In 2002, it was announced that the management of Shanghai International Circuit, with assistance of the organizers of the Macau Grand Prix, has signed a 7-year contract with Formula One management, that's the FOM, to host the Chinese Grand Prix from 2004 to 2011. The first Chinese Grand Prix held on September 26, 2004 and was won by Ferrari's Ruben Barrichello. The following year, it hosted the final round of the Formula One Championship, in which the newly crowned world champion Fernando Alonso won and claimed the constructors' title for Renault. In 2006, the Chinese Grand Prix was won by Michael Schumacher, and that was his last victory in Formula One. It had been a great race, Lewis Hamilton winning 6, Fernando Alonso 2, Nico Rosberg 2, and constructors Mercedes 6, Ferrari 4, McLaren 3, Red Bull 2. The fastest race lap is still held by Michael Schumacher in Ferrari then. Now, the weather forecast. Friday 19th of April, 20 degrees, sunrise, sunset, cloudy, changing to light rain by night time. There will be a little rain by night time, but it still looks like a good day for racing, and a little bit cloudy. Saturday, light rain, and on Sunday, let me see what Sunday brings. It will be a little bit windy on both Saturday and Friday, with the humidity as high as 75%. On Sunday, it will be considerably cloudy and a very high gust of wind. That's probability of rain 25%, which means it might drizzle, but there's no guarantee that there will be rain. Good race we expect, and we expect high degradation like we had in Japan. I think it's the same tires used in Japan that will be used in China, because the abrasive level of the track is high. The weather will be a little bit mild than Japan. But what do I think about the race in China? I think it's going to be a good race, and if Ferrari don't make the same mistakes they made in Japan, they might win the race, because this track looks better and it suits their car better, especially the second and the third sector. If the Ferrari can nail the second and the third sector, wow, it's going to be a good race for them, especially in qualifying and in the race. Like I said, the Red Bull might be facing a bigger challenge, a stiffer challenge than they faced in Japan on this racetrack. If they are not careful, I think it will be a very, very dicey race for them, and a race that would define their season, because after this race, if the Ferrari can win this race, we will see them bunch up again and possibly one more race. Then we go to Imola, they bring their upgrades. Miami, I think, will also favor Ferrari a little bit because of the slow speed corners. The Ferraris are a little bit good on the slow speed corners. They are more balanced than any other car out there. Though we've not seen the Red Bull really test out their upgrade package to give them the optimum they think they should have. But I think from what we are saying, it should be a track that will favor the Miami, should also favor Ferrari, or they should be closer to the Red Bull before they get to Imola and bring their major upgrades for the season, because they are bringing 4 major upgrades for the season. The first one coming in Imola, then they are going to bring others as the season progresses. So it's going to be a very interesting Chinese race, but it's coming early in the morning like we've had in Japan, but a little bit early at the race, around 8 o'clock in the morning. But the practices will be coming around 5 a.m. and around 7 a.m. So let's see how that is. But naturally, I tell you, it's going to be a good race. Also to know, the Chinese Grand Prix is the first sprint race of the season. Now, in some earlier videos, I've told you about the sprint formatting, which you'll see in this video. It's going to be packed with excitement because the nature will play its own part in the sprint and the race. And for those that are having engine overheating, welcome on board. Mercedes, on I go here. For Red Bull, I think they bear some overheating also on their brakes and engine, which they are trying to take out. I don't know if they'll be able to solve it totally, but let's see how they're able to fare. And McLaren, they are doing well. Ferrari is doing well also. They look cool and they look strong. So let's see how it all pans out in China, Shanghai International Circuit, for the sprint race and for the main race. Yeah. And up until the FP1, FP2, I love you guys. Here's at the bomb. Yeah, bye. Yeah, chi.